Hello everyone and welcome back. Today, I will be reviewing the film Deadpool. Deadpool is directed by Tim Miller, written by Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, and stars Ryan Reynolds, Marina Baccarin, Ed Skrein, Gina Carano, and Brianna Hildebrand. This is a Deadpool movie review and there will be spoilers. If you enjoy our movie reviews, please show your support by liking this Deadpool film review and subscribing. Once subscribed, click the bell notification box to be instantly notified of our new reviews. Please also consider supporting us through a channel membership or by becoming one of our patrons on Patreon at patreon.com/FilmBook. And now, the Deadpool movie review. Deadpool is a unique superhero film. It makes fun of itself, its lead actor, and actors in other superhero films, as well as the films they appear in. Deadpool is a film that knows no bounds. Deadpool writes its own rules from the moment the irreverent title sequence begins. When it does, the viewer knows they are in store for something quite different, and they receive that in droves. Deadpool's title sequence is something unlike anything the viewer has ever seen before, and it establishes the laconic tone for the rest of the film. The character that powers that tone and carries it to fruition is Wade Wilson, aka Deadpool. A person who always has something to say in any situation, as if he were a comedian that is always on. This particular comedian is saddled with combat skills that he has no qualms about using for payment up front. After Wade undergoes his mutation, no one is spared from Deadpool's sarcasm, including the audience, whom Deadpool turns to and speaks to on a regular basis. No situation is present that Deadpool can't turn into a short, painful, this should not be funny, but it is moment. The pinnacle of this tendency is when Deadpool is stabbed in the head, and cartoons appear on screen, illustrating how his brain has been affected by the serrated metal stuck in it. When Deadpool begins making a certain profane gesture with his fingers, and Vanessa Carlsey responds with profanity, the viewer can't help but laugh as an audience member. One moment in the film that is handled comically, but detrimentally, is when Deadpool cuts off his hand, registering no pain or agony, like 127 Hours' similar scene. This moment in Deadpool would be better served if Deadpool is in agony as he goes about his work, yet restrains his screams, instead of presenting himself as an unfeeling, irritated robot shucking corn on the cob. When Wade Wilson needs to be serious, all of his comedic fervor falls into a dead, foreboding stare. It only happens twice in the film, but it lets the viewer know that under the humor, there is a human being with feelings. That aspect of Deadpool is ameliorated by his relationship to Vanessa, and the lengths he goes in order to preserve that relationship. Vanessa and Wade ground the film in something relatable, love, affection, and what terminal cancer means for a couple, and propel it forward. Wade's most important action in the film is based on his compassion and affection for Vanessa and wanting to be with her. That end goal gets him through the mutation torture and is why he continues to fight when he thinks all is lost. Because of moments like these, the flashback scenes in Deadpool are even more powerful than many of the present-day sequences, which are far more comedic and action-heavy than what incited them. When Vanessa and Wade swap childhood abuse stories, each trying to match and one-up the other, almost proud of what they had endured and survived, the viewer would feel sad for these two damaged individuals, especially considering what one of them became because of it, were it not for the fact that it also made them perfect for each other. When Ajax's laboratory is introduced, the horror movie aspect of Deadpool, it is unsanitary, poorly lit, and resembles a place of torture and doom. Wade notices it immediately, but doesn't grasp what he is seeing until he is told, a la Wolverine in X-Men 2, about his past and the lab's true intention. But by that point, it is already too late. Deadpool doesn't possess villains bent on the trope of world dominance or destruction. Ajax and Angel Dust are slave merchants, whose only motivation is the acquisition of money. They are capitalist slavers, or in 21st century parlance, human traffickers, though mutant traffickers is more apt. This motivation for their actions cements both of these villains in a world of economic pushes and pulls, but it doesn't explain how they acquired their abilities or became the mutant lab's puppet masters. Were they recruited like Wade, or were they always in charge and decide to mutate themselves to acquire fantastical abilities? If only those plot points had been explained. But screenwriters rarely see the need to explain evil or explore a villain's past. One villainous plot point that is explored by Deadpool's writers is Ajax's innate ability to use Wade against Wade, illuminating more of Wade's past and illustrating the fact that Wade would be the last person the US government would ever give superpowers to for any reason. The fact that Wade, at one time, believed the latter shows how stupid, naive, and desperate he has become. A smarter man would ask, why me? While looking the gift horse squarely in the mouth. Wade takes the nebulous cancer cures recruiters offer at face value, with no reconnaissance or due diligence of any kind. For a former Special Forces soldier, this makes little sense. Why doesn't Wade run a simple background check on the recruiter, or conduct basic surveillance to see where he might be taken for this cure? Because of the tight level of drama that occurs in Ajax's laboratory, and the character's introduction there, including a sympathetic fellow test subject, these logical oversights are forgiven. One of the highlights of the laboratory segment of Deadpool is the firefight. Because of the nudity that occurs during it, a real element is added to the fight and the film that would not have been present or possible otherwise. During the film's finale, an unreal element is added to Deadpool via a character's disappearance. After Colossus carries Negasonic Teenage Warhead and Angel Dust out of the collapsing junkyard, what happens to Angel Dust? She completely disappears. Colossus is holding Angel Dust's unconscious body during the collapse, and then she is gone. Where did she go? Characters disappearing with no explanation is sadly common in the badly written sections of motion pictures, with screenwriters and editors hoping the audience will not notice or care. Since it is convenient and narratively time-saving, Deadpool's writers apparently couldn't resist, unless Angel Dust's last scene was cut from the film, and create a plot hole in the process. It is an unforced error that could have been easily erased with a single shot of Angel Dust's unconscious body at Colossus's feet. In the end, Deadpool is an entertaining film, surprising at times and near the very top of comic book adaptations. As Wade Wilson would say, cue the music. And that brings us to the conclusion of this Deadpool movie review. I would love to hear your thoughts on it below in the comments section. If you liked what you heard during the review, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Please also visit and subscribe to our podcast channel at FilmBook Podcast on YouTube. If you would like to get FilmBook's articles delivered to your inbox, sign up for our daily newsletter or download our Android FilmBook app for instant notifications. You'll find links to both in the description and on our website, FilmBook. That's film-book.com. Thanks for dropping by, and I'll see you next time.